Hello. Today I'm gonna to talk about the assemble process. Uh, I'm gonna to show you how we can mate some part with each other, and after mating these parts with each other, create a product. Most of the products around us contains many components, and we have to mate. We have to join these components with each other in order to create the products. Okay. The examples which I'm gonna to use here is an example on a help of the Solidworks. You can find these files, these parts available on the mate folder of the Solidworks. You can find it, or if you don't have it, for you it is not possible to find these files, you as my students, not all of you, you can find these files available on a share folder in Google Drive. Okay, so in Google Drive we have a folder which is called as mate. You can refer to this folder and you can find these parts on this shared folder. Another, or if you don't have access to this shared folder, you can find these parts on the mate folder of the Solidworks help. So I'm gonna to start a new assemble using this file new and select assembly and OK. Now when you start to create assemble, at the left of your page you can see began assemble. Okay, and here we have a browse. If you click on browse, you can find the files which you already put your parts on it. That's why I'm gonna to go to my share folder here in my Google Drive, and you have to go to mate, and in the mate I'm gonna to start with main. Be careful in assemble, selecting the first part is very important, because all the parts will be mated into the main part, and you are not able to move the main part in your assemble. That's why try to very clearly try to be very sensitive on selecting the main part. Here you have to select the main part and OK. When you click on main, okay, you can see the main part is with me, and if I click on a point on this page, this main part will be fixed on the drawing environment. Okay, just click, and this one is fixed to the page. Now here I have some tools in assemble. We have insert component, mate, linear component, and we have a very applicable tool as move component. Okay, now if I use move component or rotate component, I'm not able to move this part. Okay, or if I use rotate component, this component is already fixed as a main part, is already fixed to the drawing environment. That's why it's not possible to move this part, and as a fact we have to be careful on selecting this part in assemble. Now I'm gonna to click on mate. Okay, and now I'm gonna to call another part, sorry, insert component, and I'm gonna to call another part here. Now in order to see which part is this, I'm gonna to use extract icons or extra, but here unfortunately in my case I'm not able to see the parts. That's why I have to I'm gonna to bring spider, select spider, and let's see what the spider is. Now I'm not gonna to continue with this spider. That's why I'm gonna to go and call another part, but later we will use this part. Okay, let's see what is this part. No, not this one. Insert another part. crank shaft. Okay, I'm gonna to continue with not this one. Insert another part. For several times you can actually York female male, you can, yeah, I'm gonna to continue with York male, this part. Okay, you can recall the part several times whenever you need. You don't need to, you can duplicate it. Now I'm gonna to put this part. As you can see, I can move this part wherever I need. Okay, I can, or I may use rotate components in order to rotate the part. Okay, you can use rotate component for rotating the parts. Okay, now first job is mating this part of this pin into this hole. Okay, now just needs to select this part of the parts, this surface of the part, and then mate. Okay, if you do so, as you can see, face 1 is already selected for mate. Now I'm gonna to select this side of the hole as well. Okay, now if you do so, automatically SolidWorks will be able to realize that you are gonna to add concentric for these two parts as a mate. Okay, if this one is not correct, you can go and select perpendicular, for example, tangent, whatever you need, parallel. Okay, but the ones which I'm gonna to use is definitely concentric. So I have to confirm this. Now if you move this part, you are not able to move the part in any other direction. You already add a mate to this pin and hole. Okay, so this pin is, you are able to move this part only in this direction. Okay, but our job is not finished yet. We are gonna to add more component. Be careful, if you press on the midpoint of your mouse, you can rotate all the parts. Okay, I'm pressing on midpoints of the mouse and I am rotating the components here. Okay, and if you can make zoom in or zoom out using the midpoints of the mouse as well. Okay, now I can, as I said, I can rotate the part in this direction and I can move this part in this direction. But the ones which I'm gonna to do here is I'm gonna to put this, select this plane and rotate the parts and select this plane. If you do so, automatically SolidWorks will be select coincident. Coincident means these two planes will be reached to each other. If you have some distance between these planes, you can activate this one and you can say that, okay, I need to have 2 millimeters of gap between these two planes. Look here, now you can see we have 2 millimeters gap between the planes, for example 5 millimeters, or you can change the direction and you can put this one. But the ones which I'm gonna to use here is not only you can put very small distance between the planes, or you may select coincident, but I'm gonna to continue with coincident. And now as you can see, isometric, you can see this part is this part is mated to this plane. So I'm just repeating it, so it will be mated and you have to confirm your mate. And if you have a look isometrically to this part, you are not able to move the part, you can only rotate the parts. As you can see here, we can rotate the part in counterclockwise or clockwise in any direction which you wish. Okay, now I'm gonna to continue my assemble with insert components, browse. Now let's select some more parts as not made, sorry. You can, as you can see, you can duplicate the parts, and whatever you don't need you can select and you can delete on your keyboard. Insert the components, browse, and female. Now it's time to put this part. Okay, now be careful. This part sometimes in assemble much better to, before adding any mate to your components, much better to rotate the part and put the part in a suitable place. Otherwise your SolidWorks is not able to realize that realize suitable mates for your parts. That's why I'm gonna to use rotate components and try to move your components and put on just similar to mines here. Okay, now after that I have to say that mate, I'm gonna to put this mate, this plane with this plane. Okay, definitely SolidWorks, if you do this, SolidWorks is able to realize that this one is gonna to be coincident. Okay, now coincidented, now you can move your components here, and now it's time to rotate it. Let's rotate your parts using move components and rotate as like as mines. If for you finding this situation is difficult, okay, let's continue with another way. If in SolidWorks you may add some mates here, all the mates, for example, in a mistake I am gonna to add a mate to here. Okay, adding mate between these two, okay, and confirming all the the mates will be recorded here. Okay, you can trace your your mates. For example, this one, and this one. But most of the times, in case of the parts is very complicated, finding the suitable rank or mates in these mate report is very difficult. That's why if you made mistakes on adding new mates for the components, much better to delete the component. Okay, for example, suppose I made these mistakes here and now I am gonna to find this. Definitely, since here I have just only 4, I can find these mates. Look here, when I'm gonna to here, it shows that there is a look. This arc will represent us. These two is mate with each other as a coincidence. But much better to if you are not able to find these relations between the parts, the best way is deleting the components. For example, now I'm gonna to select this one and delete. Okay, if you delete this component, definitely the coincidence 4 and 5 which are belongs to here will be recorded here. This is a way for finding how many of mates is already applied to this component, and if it still have some problems with these mates, you can even delete your parts and recall your part again. But now I am gonna to continue with mate here. Now let's say most of the times in assemble, since all the parts will not be designed by only one designer, okay, you may have some problems in dimensions. Okay, now I'm gonna to show you how we can control these dimensions. Look here, I have a now I'm gonna to be sure that the size of this hole is same as this hole. Okay, now I need to measure. One possible way is to back to part design and control the the scats, but this one is very time consuming. Much better to use evaluate here. Now I'm gonna to use evaluate and measure Now if you select this circle, it will represent us, it is the diameter of this circle is 9.53. okay, and if you measure this circle, it is 30 lengths, not lengths, diameter is 9.53. okay, so this one is a suitable hole for this the hole. Now let's select this one, diameter is 9.53, so all the size of this holes is same. That's why for me it is not too much important to select the suitable size, but definitely most of the times you need to measure this length in order to find the suitable. Look, length is 20.32. now I'm gonna to put this part on this space, mate this hole with this hole. Okay, evaluate, assemble, mate. You should mate these two with each other, and the relation definitely automatically will be created as coincident. And now I'm gonna continue with coincident. Now confirm. Now if you do so, you can only move this part on only this direction. Now I'm gonna to, let's say, mate this one with inner side of this part. Okay, now confirm, and very simply you can see that, okay, I have this part, okay, and this component is mated to this part, and you can only rotate this part in this direction. Okay, very good. Now let's continue with another, confirm you mate, with another component as female, browse and yoke female. Now as previous time I tried to explain, firstly we should move the component most of the times and put the component in a suitable place. For us, the suitable place is look like this, okay, because we are gonna to mate these two holes in each other, and definitely we should use this plane to mate to the inner or to this plane actually. Now let's continue with the mate. Okay, rotate is enough, and may use mate. Okay, and let's say I need to mate this hole with this hole. Okay, and confirm. You can see here already the part is on this place, and now it's time to, let's say, mate this plane with this plane and confirm. Now let's see what will be happened. I can find this part here. Now if I rotate the part, okay, this one is able to rotate on only in this direction. Now it's time to use rotate component and put on a suitable direction as much as possible. Be close to this part, this plane, and let's say use mate and mate this plane with this plane. Okay, confirm, and let's see what will be happened. Isometric, I have this, and if you rotate this, I already made a actually mechanism here. If you rotate the male part, the female will be rotated in accordance to your rotation. Okay, very nice. Now let's say insert a new component and bring U join pin 1. Okay, now I'm gonna to put this pin on this hole. That's why I have to select this pin and mate with this side of the part. Okay, confirm, and here should be mate with this plane. Okay, and confirm. Now look, let's see what will be happen. This pin 1 will be goes through these holes. Okay, now I need 2 more pins here. Sorry, insert component, browser, and U-joint pin 2. Okay, U-joint pin 2 here just needs to select here mate and select the inside of the part. Most of the times you may deal with this problem here. As you can see, I tried to add a mate to the part, but part is, let's say, embedded within the part, and you cannot find where the part is. Okay, now that's why you should, particularly when the part is very contain many components, this is a main issue. That's why we may right click on the components and you may hide the components. Okay, change transparency or hide component. If you hide the components, you can see my component is here, and you can bring back the component to the suitable place. And definitely after doing this, you should back to tree diagram here, and as you can see, this part is hidden, and that's why I have to change the show components. And even if you need, you can change the transparency of the part. Okay, now my component is here, my joint pin is here. Already we tried to add a coincidence, concentric to this part, and now it's time to add a more mate by selecting this plane and this one. So this pin will be added, will be placed in a suitable place, and we should add one more pin here, because as you can see here, we needed one more pin here. Now I'm gonna to recall the same component here. Okay, as I said several times, we can recall a part, we can use a part. So if your part contains many components, but some of these components is similar, definitely you just need to draw only one of these parts. Now let's say again, mate this one with this one. It will be concentric, confirm, and this one with this one, it will be tangent, so it will be confirmed. Now this part of the product is already assembled. Now I'm gonna to use this part here, the parts which available here, but try to check the parts. As you can see here, we have a place this plane on this part. The designer used this to put this part on this side of the, let's say, look, this part of the look, we have a place here, and similarly on these components we have here, look. So we should try to assemble this one in a suitable place. Now isometric, I'm gonna to first say, let's say this one should be mated with inside of this hole. So as you can see here, I have a problem here, because this part is gonna to be hidden on the parts. But if you again you have a problem with this, as this, okay, if you are not able to find the part, definitely you should right click on it and right click on it, and you have to hide the components. Sorry, you should hide the components, and after hiding the component you can find and extract your parts and back to tree diagram and let's say show component. So here we add a concentric for this part. That's why I'm only able to move this part on this, only in this direction. Now it's time to add one more mate here, but be careful, as previous time I said, be careful, these two planes as much as possible should be placed in suitable direction. Look, this one and this one. Now I'm going to say this one should be mated with inner of this component and confirm. Now have a look what's gonna to be happen. If I move this one, the part will be moved, but it's time to, let's say, mate this one should be mated with here and confirm. Now what will be happened? Look, we can rotate this part. When I'm rotating the part, all the components will be rotated. Okay, now it's time to add one properties here, one mate here, and one components in the component feature, and let's say arm. Is that? Yeah, arm. Now we have the same hole here, as you can see, so we have to do so for this one as well. This one should be mated with this as coincident, confirm. This plane mate with this plane, confirm, and this one should be mated with this one, confirm. Now look what will be happened. Now we made a handle. If you rotate your handle, the part will be rotated. And finally I'm gonna to use this part, the red part here. We have a hole here, and this hole should be mated with this one, confirm. And if it is not in a suitable place, you can say that this one should be mated with this plane. Okay, confirm. Now this part is finished. Okay, sometimes you may say that I don't want to, and this is a product, you may take this one, because here, have a look here, you can move this part. Okay, it's possible to rotate this part. No, it is not possible. No, it is possible. Okay, so if you want to fix this part, definitely it is possible to back here. Look, you can come to here, find the components which we already used. Okay, what is the components? This one. No, this one. Okay, it is crank. It is crank cube 1. Okay, now find this part, and you can open this file here, the details. You can see the details of this part here. Okay, and all the process for creating this part is already reported here. Okay, so look here, you can see they used base revolved by the use of this sketch in order to create this part. Okay, now if you wanted to fix this part, one possible way to, and as my part here, which is created using revolve, you may use the standard planes of the part as well. So for example, you can say that, okay, this one front, okay, is mated with this plane. Have a look to this red with this plane. As you can see, this one is rotated and fixed with this plane, and now this part is quite fixed to this part. Okay, so it is possible to use this one as well, but what happened? Let's say Ctrl Z. Okay, because if you do so, it is not possible to rotate it, but let's say we can say, I think it is possible to say front with a plane in a base. If you do so, the part will be fixed. Okay, so another important term here is sometimes you need to change some dimension in the components. For instance, I'm gonna to work with this one. Okay, open this part. You can see this part is created using an extrusion process, cut extrude and cut extrude. Now let's open this one, sketch of this, and edit a sketch. You should save the part. I'm gonna to save the assemble. Okay, let's put this part in a share folder. Just save it. Now, few seconds. All right. After saving, the sketch of this part should be opened for us. Okay. Now, this is the sketch which I'm expecting to have. Now, you can say that this one is 0.25 now, but this one I'm gonna to revise this. Look here, instead of 3 inches, I'm gonna to have 4 inch, for example. Definitely this one will be much long. What happened? Now, since this reference point is here, look here, there's a problem on part design. All the time I'm saying, okay, try to design the components on right and in a region of right and positive, but this one is not creating on a suitable place. That's why I'm gonna to back, because if I do so, the part will be we will see many errors here. But it's possible, as I said, it's possible to use this one in order to create in order to, let's say, in order to revise a part here. Okay, so we made this part, this product, actually, which is a product. You can rotate this product. Okay, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna to share a homework with you, and the first homework for you is creating these components, and for your next week you should be able to, I will give you a drawing of the parts, and starting from this week we will try to create the parts, and then the created parts will be joined to each other, will be made to each other in order to create the products. Hope you enjoyed this video, and keep safe, stay home, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.